Hi, I'm Wes,
And I'm Abby.
and together we are the
The
DnDuo.
DnDuo.
I will be your dungeon master for this evening, or morning, or afternoon. I don't judge. And you are.
I am Abby. I am the player character, and this is my first time on mic, so we are going to see how this goes.
We're going to be running a campaign we had played before, but we are going to be changing it up a bit. As you can probably tell, there's only one player in this campaign. We know that, as most D&D podcasts and everything usually have a large sprawling cast, but this will just be a single player and a single dungeon master, which will be something to get used to. But it should be fun. Are you ready?
I am.
Do you have any thoughts?
I'm excited.
Well, that's good, because if you weren't, then why are we even doing this? So, let's get ready to begin One World. The year is 121 of the New Age. No one knows who or what began its creation, be it wizard or monster. All that was recorded was the light. A flash of blue from an obsidian tower. The sky tearing into thousands of shards as every plane and denizen were crushed into the material world of Alteria. Mother, the great tree that held aloft each plane with its golden branches, was shattered. Cries of millions of creatures rang out as the tree collapsed under the will of the Orphan Tower. What came next was 100 years of war between that which was divine, be good or evil, or even otherwise, all battling for dominance. Titans from the abyss tore through angels and demons, creating scars in the land. The Lord of the Hell's head paraded as a trophy atop the pike of Tyr. The great platinum dragon falling from the sky as the Lady of Pain burrowed her endless blades into his radiant hide. Then came the thousands of horrors from the outer planes, rampaging into towns and cities, devouring all they set foot into. It was utter extinction. Yet eventually it did go quiet. Divinity had ceased. Evil was quelled. The astral plane danced in the night sky. All that remained was the scars of the fallen littering the land. Perpetual storms roaming the sky and the plains collapsing into what Alteria is today. Those who remained recovered, forming bastions of humanoid kind or humanoid adjacent. Large walled cities full of people hoping to restart and hide from the creatures that have been set loose. Trade prospered and society returned, though prayers are still silent, with healing magic all but gone. The relations of each bastion is shaky. The battle for dominance still rages, but now it is that of agreements and well-placed words. Some are happy the gods are gone. Most wish to have something to guide them once again, but all that is known for sure is something tore through the mother tree, grasping toward the divine, and succeeded. That is where we begin our tale. A loose collection of travelers, who would be heroes or just normal people, all heading for one of the most well-known of these bastions, the most welcoming, Last Light. Why your journey takes you here is your own motive. Regardless, you find yourself, I should say, in a horse-drawn cart caravan, rounding the cliffs of the Blackwood Forest with nothing but the astral gossamer sky to light your way. The steep cliffside is shrouded in fog, and treetops litter the cliffs below. It's a little unsettling as the cart begins to be rickety, bumping and shaking as you get closer to the rocky edges. There is a very subtle, low rumble of thunder present as rain seems to mist inward. Within this cart, there is a woman clad in iron armor with this symbol, royal most likely, based on its extravagant design and the fact that she wears a purple cloak, a blade at her hip, a bun tied tightly, dirtied, traveling for a while, and she seems to be sitting in front of a small boy who's in also a very fine piece of cloak and hood. Very much a noble's kid in terms of appearance, but also just the way he has this sense of awe with the outside world. Next to him is a very young man, maybe his early 20s, with glasses, messy hair, dirtied from soot or whatever, wearing a cloak with no hood, very much keeping his features out to the world, with some boots and gloves as he seems to be drawing in a small journal. Based on his hands and his features, probably a smith of some sort. At least when he carries himself, the tools on his side, obscured by his cloak, but the telltale signs of a hammer. And in front of that man sits who, if you would like to introduce yourself and describe yourself.
Yeah, so the first thing that anyone would see is movement, but shoulder high, as they would hear her murmur in Druidic, "Blaze, relax." And as this cloaked figure almost comes out from camouflage, she pulls down her hood, and you see a wood elf with long, red, flowing, curly hair, deep green eyes, and fairly pale skin. The cloak hides a lot, but there's enough in her face to show she's lithe. And out of her buttoned cloak, you see a Maine Coon cat head peek out as he nudges into her, calming her or bothering her, not really sure, but very clearly a companion of some kind.
As the wood elf sitting there, probably a long journey for you, feeling the bumps of this carriage. You can see on the horizon, even with the fog, you can kind of see the treetops disappearing lower and lower as you seem to rise in elevation, before you kind of feel a tug on your cloak. And you look over and you see a small hand, a child's hand, tugging on you and looking up at you, but mostly the cat, as you see the young noble boy go, "Hi.
Hi.
You have a very pretty kitty."
Would you like to pet him?
Yeah. You see him kind of get nervous, but a very large smile on his face.
Okay. Come on, please. And you see this fairly average-sized Maine Coon, dark striped fur, nuzzle out from the cape, kind of walk down her arm, and just sits there and sits politely and waits to be pet.
And the boy begins to pet him, and very gingerly, just kind of using one hand and then going into two, and then giving him some neck scritches as he goes, "Oh, he's such a good kitty."
And Blaze is nudging in, purring. Not particularly loud, fairly an average purr, but very much enjoying the attention.
The boy looks at you and goes, "I've never seen a cat like this before. He has so many different colors."
Yeah, he's been my companion for 20 or so years now.
And as you say that, you kind of see a purple cloak woman kind of set a hand on his shoulder and go, Connor, let's not disturb the poor woman, alright? Sorry about that.
Truly, it's no bother. Blaze loves the attention.
I'm sure. But, Connor, we talked about this. You're not in the castle. You can't just go and walk up to anyone. They're traveling. You don't know what they've been through. She could have had a hard day, and here you are bothering her. She's trying to nap. And then Connor looks up and goes, but the kitty needs to be pet. It's the law.
Rylith is very clearly smiling and trying to hold kind of in this laughter. It seems like she's spent some time with young ones in the past and is kind of remembering what it's like to see the little ones.
And the woman just kind of chuckles at that phrase and then goes, be that as it may, Connor, let's be more polite. Fine. As he kind of sinks back onto his little seat. And as you're kind of continuing to round, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 17.
Right. So, as you're kind of riding, you can hear birds rustling in the leaves of the trees. You hear the soft wind picking up, becoming less soft, more, not rough, but gusty, for sure, as a storm is continuing to approach. And as this is happening, you just hear a chuckle from the man in front of you. As he goes, it's the law. And as he kind of looks up and goes, sorry, I just thought it was funny.
It's alright. Kids usually are.
Yeah, sometimes. It's fair. If you don't mind me asking, you wouldn't happen to be a druid, would you?
She almost gets defensive at that.
Yeah.
As Blaze kind of crawls back up and sits on her shoulders, almost wrapped around her neck, and she goes, I am.
Oh, sorry, I swear I didn't mean to offend. I was just curious, because druids aren't really from around here. They're so rare.
We usually stay in sanctuary, yes.
Right. Sorry, it's so rude of me. I'm Isaac.
Rylith.
Nice to meet you. Would it be okay if I asked a few questions about druids? Because being from Sanctuary, there's not many that ever leave.
That is true. We usually like our safety behind the bramble.
Right. But is that alright, though?
I will answer what I can.
Okay. And he kind of quickly goes to his satchel, pulling out some books and paper, and a lot of different pens and pencils, setting them on and then kind of opening them. He goes, okay. As he starts labeling things with one pen, putting it down, dropping to another to label a subsection, and then swapping to another, and then getting something more ready for notes.
You know, I was gonna do an insight check, and now I think she has this man locked.
He's something, for sure. But as he kind of gets ready, and he goes, so that, as he kind of pushes up the glasses, that language you were speaking to your cat, is that Druidic?
It is.
Sorry, I tried to study some of it as much as I can in languages, so I picked up bits and pieces of what you were saying, so I was very surprised to hear it, because I've only read it. So, I don't know, it was new.
Interesting. I didn't know there were books on the Druidic language outside of Sanctuary.
Is there some? As this conversation is going, you start to notice something. You don't hear the birds anymore. At first you think it's probably most likely just the wind is overpowering them, But you also start to notice the trees themselves seem to be getting darker green.
I'm gonna turn and look at... Very clearly, the lady with the purple cloak is some sort of guard ward for this kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna try to give a look like something is up. Do you see it too?
She looks at you as she goes, "Are you alright, miss?"
The birds stopped.
And she kind of looks around. All the carts jerk to a halt. You hear someone from up front, probably the caravan leader, shout, "There's a tree blocking the way. Give me a minute. I need some strong hands." As you can hear the footsteps of people jumping off horses, you see a few kind of walking up, and you can look up and see this fallen oak tree collapsing onto the road and blocking your path.
Can I see the base of the tree where it was split off?
Make a perception check.
21.
21. You do. Would you like to glean anything from it?
Yeah, I'd like to see, does it look like it fell over from natural causes or from like a swift blade?
It doesn't look like it was cut with a blade. However, it doesn't look like it fell naturally. You would know, being a druid, that trees can be knocked over by winds, but this looks... One, the wind is blowing to the east. This fell west.
Yeah.
So completely wrong direction of where it would fall. And it looked to be unstable soil. This tree looks like it was pushed by something strong.
She's gonna look at the woman and say, that tree didn't fall on its own. I fear we might be getting ambushed.
She kind of leans back, looking over her shoulder, and goes, "Shit." And then looks at Connor. "Connor, stay low for me." As she kind of hops out of the cart and unsheaths a blade. And you can see when she unsheaths it, see her begin to go and start to cough as you see ash begin to jut out of her throat as she coughs it onto the floor, going...
Are you alright?
You see her eyes go wide as you see shadows darting all around in the tree line as you can hear footsteps beginning to surround as a tree collapses on the other side of the caravan, blocking you in completely. As she looks at you and goes, "Demons."
I'm gonna put my hood up and kind of whisper to the other two, stay down and stay close to the edge of the cart. Like, close to the exit, so if something happens, they can run out. And then I will also, after I put my hood up, and hide, hopefully.
Make a stealth check with advantage as you are using the Cloak of Elvenkind.
I don't actually need the advantage. That is a nat 20, which will turn into a 29.
You put on your hood and the cloak immediately begins to take on the appearance of the surroundings. Less so taking on the appearance of the cart, as it's magical in nature, it knows how to best blend you in. It actually begins to take on the appearance of the fog that's surrounding you. As it cloaks around you, you seem to gain this misty appearance as you kind of drift into it, and Isaac, who's sitting in front of you, probably doesn't even notice you.
And I should say, Blaze, as she put the hood up, he burrowed underneath and latched onto, she has these leather pauldrons on her shoulders that protect her from his claws, but so he can kind of cement in and stay underneath.
Perfect. As it's also happening, you see Isaac begin to kind of look up and go, "Is everything okay?"
She will, in order to not scare the kid, try to continue the conversation in Druidic, because clearly he understood some of it, and he'll say, "We're being ambushed, demons. Just lay low, and if you can, keep the kid safe."
Okay. You see him get very nervous at that as you begin to hear the chopping of wood as you see the men out front chopping the front tree. As you see a few men kind of looking back and going, "Hey, another tree just fell behind us." As you begin to see more and more and more shadows before you see them rush forward. And I need you all to roll initiative. So what is your initiative?
My initiative is an 11. And then this gives us a chance to introduce our fun mechanic, which is making this fun for 2 people. I will actually be controlling Isaac in combat.
That is true.
So I have an 11, and Isaac has a 13.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not great.
Not great, no. But not bad. I can't seem to open up that. Okay. So, you are actually first. Isaac is first. As he jumps out of the cart, what would you like him to do as you do begin to see these large, rotund, grotesque-looking, pink flesh demons rushing forward? Their flesh seems to almost roll on top of itself, creating these weird pockets and rolls as you see these veins that just basically like a naked mole rat all over the body as you see these flies ejecting from the rolls, and its eyes are actually have these sewn slits of flesh that seem to almost create these shade effects over its mouth and eyes. As all of them are running, you can see the flesh slits actually sucking in with every breath and blowing out as they rush closer.
I'm gonna have him just pull out his crossbow and take a shot at the nearest one.
Okay.
12 to hit?
That just misses.
Oh, brutal.
So Isaac jumps out of the cart and pulls out his crossbow with a nice, satisfying ting as he aims it up and fires. It does hit Purchase. However, it sticks into one of the more thicker pieces of hide of this thing as it continues to lumber forward. He goes, they're still coming.
Radical call. That's alright. Steady yourself and take another shot. As that will end Isaac's turn.
Okay. That then brings us to the purple cloaked woman, who's going to run to the one that Isaac had just shot, and she's going to rake up her silver sword straight up. She does have advantage. That is a 15 to hit, and she will Divine Smite. So that is a very sad 3 point of slashing damage. As she cuts up, you see its belly be sliced open. You can see its innards begin to pulse out. Kind of like if you're trying to shove an envelope through a very tight wedge, except it's just flesh. Before you start to see the cut begin to glow with this radiance, this bright yellow-white energy begin to engulf the cut before it shatters into a small explosion as the demon takes 12 radiant on top of that as it explodes into a bright light, leaving only 2 chubby feet and a pile of ash. As the first one is slain, and she will look towards another one and then look back towards you and say, "You look like the most strongest one here. Stay safe," as she holds out a hand and casts Shield of Faith on you.
Cool. Lovely.
So you have a +2 to your AC as long as she maintains concentration.
Great.
End her turn, bringing us to you.
Lovely. Okay. How many are there left, and how close are they together?
As far as you can see at this point, there are 6 left.
Okay.
They all seem to be kind of 10 feet from each other. The closest one to you is 10.
Okay. Got it.
You see that they seem to be kind of turning their intentions less towards individuals and actually towards the carts. They are rushing towards the carts themselves. You guys are in the back one, and there's 2 more ahead of you.
I'm gonna... I'll attack first, and then I'll... Because I can speak as a free action, right?
Yeah.
Great. I'm gonna go ahead... This is a weird question. How many can I get in a 20-foot cube?
20-foot cube. They're 10 feet from each other.
So 2?
2. Probably okay. 2 and 1.
She's a paladin. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna... no, I'm just gonna cast Produce Flame.
Okay.
Does a 9 hit?
Unfortunately, no. A 9's
yeah,
not
I didn't
hit.
think so. Okay. Great. Then I'm going to call out with some urgency in her voice. Connor, get out of the cart.
Got it. And then...
I had advantage because I was hidden.
You're right. I'm sorry.
I forgot too. Does a 8 plus 7. 15 hit?
That hits.
Yes. I forgot about my bitch. 6 fire damage.
It's really unfortunate. As you throw your little small fireball at them, it engulfs the skin of this monstrosity. As the demon begins to continue running forward, you see its flesh unscarred by the fire, as it appears to have taken no damage from it.
Devastating. Okay, well, now I know. I do still call out to Connor and get him to get out of the cart. And then I'm going to take a couple steps away just to kind of spread us out.
Okay.
Not so that we're more than like 10 feet apart from each other, just so that we're not all in one area.
Alrighty. So you take a few steps back, becoming 10 feet adjacent to the woman in purple.
Yes.
And Isaac.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is my turn.
That is your turn, bringing us to the first wave of the Nuparibo, is what they're called. As you see the first wave kind of running at the first 2 carts. You see the men that had jumped out beginning to hack away at the logs, or the one large log, turn, wielding their axes as he slashes down with the hatchet, burying it into the shoulder of one of the Nuparibo, as he goes, "Die, you fucking monster!" as he gets grabbed by the throat by it, lifted up, and then thrown off the cliff as you hear him yell, falling farther and farther. Then you hear him hit.
Can I guesstimate how long the drop was?
Make a nature check.
Okay. $23.
23. Based on how long it took him to hit, probably 200 feet.
Okay, got it. Don't get thrown off the cliff.
As he gets thrown, you see the other series of Nuparibo actually slam into the cart before you hear the horses whinny in struggle as they get lifted. You hear the creaking of the wood as the entire cart is lifted off its wheels and chucked off the cliff, before the other wave begins to run to the second cart, barreling into it, actually seeming to hurt themselves as you see them breaking their own limbs just trying to shove it as it also falls off. And that ends the first wave, as you do see the second wave beginning to rush towards this cart. That then brings us to Connor, who is going to jump out of the cart and attempt to hide. Perfect. That is a 14 Thank you, Atreus. +1, so he is probably hidden. With a 15 in stealth.
That'll work.
He's actually pretty hidden. Okay. That then ends his turn, bringing us to the second wave. As they begin to barrel towards, slamming themselves into the cart and lifting it off and then chucking it off the cliff, as you now see Connor, who was cowering just beneath it, and now completely revealed and no longer hidden. Two of them are going to run towards individuals. The first one's going to run towards Rylith and make an attack roll against you.
Okay.
And as it gets close to you, I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw. The DC is 11.
Dirty 20.
You succeed. So nothing happens to you. But will make one attack against you. The Nutbrook will make one attack. That is 11 plus 5, 16 to hit.
That does miss because of Shield of Faith. My AC is 18 right now.
Ooh, so as you see the Nutbrook lumbering towards you, you see it go to pounce on you. It's elongated strips of flesh as it is inhaling, jumping towards you. You start to see these long fangs jutting out between the Darth Vader-like slits of flesh and going towards you, as it seemed like it would have hit you before you see this arcane shield radiate out, taking the blast before pushing it back. So that's that one's turn. The second one is going to rush towards Connor and make an attack roll. That is 11 plus 5, so 16 to hit again. And this will be a grapple check. So this is a contested grapple against the Nutbrook's strength and Connor's. That is mighty unfortunate. The Nutbrook rolled a 22. And Connor actually rolled pretty well with an 18.
Oh.
However,
Not well enough.
Not well enough. As you see the demon pick Connor up by the collar, lifting him up from his hiding spot, as you see him struggling, trying to pull himself off, before you see the Nutbrook hurl itself off the cliff, dragging Connor with him. So that is the second wave's turn, bringing us to the top with Isaac.
Great.
As you hear the cloaked woman shout, "Connor!"
When does she go before Rylith?
Yes.
Okay, got it. I don't know that Isaac would jump, unless you disagree, based on what I know about him.
I don't think he would jump. However,
Can he make some kind of artificery check to see if there's somewhere where he can tie or secure one end of the rope, so he can pass the rope to someone else who could then jump?
Sure. Have him make an intelligence check.
Okay. Investigation or intelligence?
Intelligence.
Okay, plus 5. This is not your dice. This is my dice. This is your dice. 16.
16. Yeah, he kind of quickly, gathering some rope, quick thinking, he looks to the side and sees what looks like a jagged piece of stone, and he thinks, I can hook to that, realizing that probably wouldn't have worked, but he looks a little more, something that's kind of knelt down, or not knelt down, but pointed down, a piece of root that seems very heftily buried in stone. He ties that around that and with a hard knot, and then goes to grab the bundle of rope and says, "Here!" and then throws it to the cloaked woman.
Perfect. Lovely. His action, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Can I have him stay at the rope to potentially next turn help
Yeah,
with whatever that is?
absolutely.
Great. Then that's going to be his turn.
Okay, bringing us to the cloaked woman, who is going to sheath her sword and run to the rope, grabbing it, and she's going to leap off the cliff, going to grab Connor. And she's going to make a dex check to see if she can make this catch.
She does have 50 feet of rope, by the way, so she's got space.
Okay. Which it's been 6 seconds. So they probably have fallen 30 feet already. So she has to fall that same distance. But she's diving, so she's probably
she's diving and holding the rope, I imagine, with one hand.
That's actually pretty good. That's 15 plus 2, so 17. You see her dive down and catch Connor's hand and yank onto him, but then grabs him as well with her leg to kind of break the tension that's about to happen as she's about to catch the weight of both him and the Naparibbo, and she doesn't want to hurt him. So she grabs onto him with both her right arm and her right leg, holding onto him as you see them go taut, and you see the rope barely able to hold this weight as you see the root kind of pull up but maintain its fixture as she is holding on to him and then is looking down going, "Hold on, Kana!" And she will look up and shout, "I need this damn demon to let go of him, but I can't let go of the rope." And that will end her turn, as she cannot do anything else at this moment, bringing us to Rylith.
Great. I really want to use Ice Knife, but that's not going to work out well for us. So I'm just going to...
Do Produce Flame again, and I'm going to chuck a little ball of flame at the Naparibbo.
Remember, the Neparibbos are demons and they are immune to fire damage.
You're right. Okay. I am going to...
Would I have a long bow or a short bow?
Short bow.
Short bow, which is a D8.
A D8.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out a short bow.
And... take a shot.
Okay.
Which is Dex plus proficiency, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Plus 7. Dirty 20.
That does hit.
Short bow's a D8? Or is that a long bow?
That is it. Short bows are D6s.
D6s.
And I should ask, are you aiming to kill the Naparibbo, or are you trying to loosen its grip?
Trying to loosen its grip because I don't think I can do enough damage to kill him in one go.
Okay. Yeah, you'd probably need a crit
Yeah, to kill him.
to kill him in one shot. Yeah, you would. Well, actually, if you rolled max, you could.
6 damage.
6 damage. That's still really good. I'm gonna have the Naparibbo redo his strength check with disadvantage as he just got shot. And good thing you rolled disadvantage. That is a 3 plus 3. So he is holding on to Connor, trying to pull him down with him as you rush to the side, skidding to the side of the cliff, and quickly pulling out your bow, pulling it back with your right arm and releasing the arrow. It sails to the sky, cutting through the raindrops as it sinks into the shoulder blade of the Naparibbo, and you can see its arm immediately go numb as you shot a nerve ending, and as it releases its grip and begins to plummet down into the fog and treetops below before you hear of it hitting the ground.
Great.
As you see the rope immediately relax with just the weight of both her and Connor as she scoops Connor up and holds him tight.
Great.
Looking at Isaac, it looks like he's probably stronger than I am, so I'm gonna let him
Handle getting them back up.
Okay.
and as much as I can, I'd like to take some kind of stance in front of him to kind of force myself to be the
Target.
yes.
Okay, as a bonus action, we'll say go ahead and make a goading check, which we'll say for goading, you can choose either intimidation or performance. Goading is not technically in the rules, however, it is a fun thing to try.
Cool. I'm gonna use intimidation. It's the same.
Okay.
$15.
15. As you kind of hold how do you goad the rest of the Nepribo?
I guess she's going to stand there and I guess shout out to them. And she is going to say, "It's time you go back to where you belong, you abominations of nature." As she will prepare.
I like. And as you say this, you do see the Nepribo that were pushing off the other carts immediately look towards you, and you see this demonic hunger as you see this drool begin to slack out of their mouths. So that is your turn, bringing us to Connor, who is going to use his action to hold on tightly and not fall. Ending his turn, bringing us to the first wave of Nepribo, who are going to dash towards you. So 3 are going to make an attack on you.
Okay.
And there's a 17 plus 5.
That will hit.
A 9 plus 5.
That does not hit.
Okay, so 1 hit, 1 miss. And then a 7 plus 5. So 2 misses and 1 hit.
Thanks to that shield of faith.
You do need to make 3 Constitution saving throws. DC is 11 for each of them.
Okay. Natural 17 for the first. Ooh. That's a 7 for the second one.
Okay. So as they rush towards you, you start to see the flies and vermin and mosquitoes and other mixtures of insects that surround their decaying flesh bodies begin to kind of swarm around them. They actually begin to hit the side of you. And for the most part, they were ignoring you, but now that there's so many of them in close proximity, they've created this tornado of insects. As they begin to, you feel mosquitoes snapping into your neck and cheeks and face as they start to try and eat you. And you take 4 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Followed by, as you're distracted by this horde, you're able to dodge the first 2 attacks, but the mosquitoes start to get kind of blocking your vision, covering your eyes. As you're worried about not getting them in there, you feel a bite right in your shoulder as you see the Nepribo kind of latching itself onto your shoulder blade and beginning to try and rip a chunk of flesh out. As you take 4 points of piercing damage.
4, you said?
4.
Okay, perfect.
That is the first wave,
Okay.
bringing us to... Technically, Connor should have gone after the first wave. But now it's the second wave, as they will...
Do I need to make a third con save with the first group of Nepribo? So I only made 2.
Yes.
That's a nat 1.
So you take another swarm of 2 piercing damage.
Okay. Not looking great, but that's okay.
Okay. And then 2 more Nepribo will run towards you.
Okay.
16 to hit,
Misses.
and then a 17 to hit.
Misses. Shield of faith, because those two both
Shield
would have
of
hit normally.
faith. So they both crash into you as you see this arcane shield blocking them from touching you, as you do see it beginning to wane against the strain of demonic evil that is trying to pierce it. You can hear the struggles of not only the woman below holding onto Connor, but her maintaining concentration on the spell. As you hear her going, I can only hold it for so much longer.
That's alright.
And that will end their turn, bringing us back to the top with Isaac.
Great.
Can Isaac try to pull the woman and Connor up?
Yeah, he can make an athletics check to try and do that.
Okay. You know? Let's make an attempt. 4.
As Isaac reaches down, the strain of battle and his beating heart is... He's not thinking very clearly. And also, while you are taking the brunt of the attack, there are still demons right breathing down his neck, essentially. So he reaches down and begins to start pulling, but his hands begin to clam up as from the nervousness. This just slips, and he's not able to get quite a grip. And he goes, "I'm trying to help, I swear."
Is that his action?
That is his action.
Okay. So do you have any bonus actions, my friend?
I do not believe at this level he has
He
any.
does not. Cool. Okay. That's one other thing.
Does it look like this root will hold when the woman starts to pull herself up?
It looks like it will hold for a time.
I'm gonna have him keep holding it and attempt to give her help.
Okay.
If he can, while she pulls up, and just to make sure it stays.
Okay.
So that's his turn.
All right, bringing us to the woman who is going to attempt to climb up the rope with Connor, so she will make an athletics check with disadvantage. Still not bad. 6, it's a little bad. Oh no, 6 plus 6 is 12. She is steadily making progress, getting up about 10 feet. So she's still 20 feet down. As you see her struggling against the strain of not only maintaining concentration and Shield of Faith, but also just pulling herself up with extra weight. That is her turn, bringing us to Rylith.
Great. Rylith is going to...
I should also say, goading lasts a round.
Okay. So 5 of them are all within 5 feet of me.
Yes.
Can I chuck an ice knife
To the furthest one from me, so that when it explodes, it hits them and not me.
What is the radius on Ice Knife?
Ice knife is... You create a shard of ice and fling it at one creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against that target. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 piercing damage. Hit or miss, the shard then explodes. The target and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dex save or take 2d6 cold damage.
Yeah, we could say that the one you can throw at will hit 2 others.
Perfect.
So you can hit 3 in total.
Great.
You will have disadvantage, as this is a ranged spell attack while you're being threatened.
Yeah, but it's... I don't think I can take an opportunity attack right now. I rolled 2 15s, so 15 plus 7 to
That
hit.
hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. Do they need to make dex saves in the explosion?
Yes, I do need a dex save.
That is a fat 4, and then a 12.
Great. So the one that I actually hit will take a whopping 2 piercing damage,
Okay.
and then all 3 of them.
Does the one you hit also need to make the dex save, or just the 2 that explode on it?
Each creature within 5 feet of it, the target. I think it's just the other 2.
Okay.
So they will take 2d6 cold damage. So 6 plus 1, 7 cold damage to those 2.
Got it. They are looking really hurt.
Great.
I do believe the one that gets hit with the ice knife also takes the cold damage.
Okay, so then he also does a save.
So he also does this. That is a 9, so he fails. And then he took 3 and then 7.
He took 2.
2
and then
piercing
7.
and then
Yeah.
7, so 9. They're all up, but very hurt.
Great. And then I'm going to use my last spell slot for the day and cast Healing Word on myself because I am in a bad way. And we, although we're using legacy rules, have chosen to use the new rules for healing spells because they're better. And
That is true. We are using Legacy 5th edition, not 5.5, for the most part, with minor changes.
10 hit points. So I am back to full,
Okay.
thankfully. Action, bonus action, and I am going to stay right there.
Perfect.
I did not goad because I had to heal myself.
So they will split their aggression.
That's fine.
Next in line is the woman. No, because it went her and then you. So after you is the first wave. So that's 3.
Okay.
One is going to... Let me look at their intelligence. I do believe they're very dumb. Yeah, it's a solid 3.
Ooh.
There's not a thought in that brain. However, they are technically hunger-driven, which means that any creature that's been hit by their cloud of vermin is what it's seeking. So 2 are 100% focused on you, which I believe were...
It was the first 2 in that first round.
Right, but the 3 had attacked you.
Yes.
So 2 out of the 3 will be attacking you. So I'll roll that first. That is an 8 plus 5 to hit. Then an at 1.
Both miss.
Okay, so both miss you as you dodge out of the way of both of their attacks, kind of getting more keen on what's going on. You also need to make con saves for all 3.
Okay.
So the natural 16 is going to pass.
I apologize. You also make it with disadvantage as you are in an area with 2 or more Neparibos.
Got it. Okay, so that's an at 1 for one of them. That one will be a dirty 20.
Okay. So...
That's 2, so I have to roll 1 more.
Yeah.
That's an at 1.
Alright, so you take 1d4 piercing. You take 1 point piercing.
I failed 2.
You failed 2.
Yes.
Apologies. Look at how that dice landed. For context, we have a triangle d4, but it's a more...
It's like a prism.
It's more like a prism. It's like a very long triangle with a little pyramid at the end, and it landed perfectly, was sticking straight up in the air, so I can't even tell what it's supposed to roll. So I'll roll again. Or 2.
Okay, so 3 total.
3 total. Yeah. Okay, so they both missed. We will say the third is actually going to try and do what it was doing before. It's going to try and shove Isaac off the edge.
Okay.
It's going to make a shove attack. It's an attack roll, which is an 18 plus 5. So then it's contested athletics or acrobatics. Isaac can choose to use acrobatics.
Which he will do.
So that is a 17 plus 3, 20 for the Neparibos athletics.
19 plus 5, 24 for Isaac's acrobatics.
So the Neparibo rushes past you as you kind of jerk your head. You see it shoulder check Isaac, who actually managed to kind of dodge out of the way of it, kind of sliding by as you see the Neparibo's full weight just take it off the cliff as it begins to fall. And I'm going to have both Connor and the woman make dexterity saving throws to make sure they don't get caught by it as it's falling. That's a nat 20 for Connor, and a 9 plus... That's the wrong stat block. 9 plus 3. So 12. They both succeed as the Neparibo falls down, grasping at them as you hear it squailing and screaming in rage before hitting the ground.
Okay, 1 down.
Okay. That is the first wave, bringing us to Connor, who is going to say, "I don't like it down here." Bringing us to the second wave, which is only 2. You need to make con saves.
Okay. Disadvantage. So these two ones. That's a 2. That's a fail. And the lower is a 14. So 1 fail, 1 success.
Take 2 piercing.
Okay.
And then one of them is going to attack you as he failed. That's a 19 plus 5.
That will hit.
And you take 8 piercing.
I am down.
You're down?
I am down.
So as the vermin start to kind of sting you, you get distracted again as you see it charge at you, and you see the Shield of Faith shatter into pieces as it lunges on you and bites you right in the neck as you feel your body give way as you collapse with it on top of you. The second one runs towards Isaac as you see Isaac go, "Oh no, problem!" That is a 10 plus 5 to hit Isaac. Does that hit him?
No, that misses. 16.
As it bites into Isaac, hitting the medium armor beneath him, as he just goes, "Get off me!" That... Oh, he also needs to make a con save.
Okay. With disadvantage? Or just one? Because it's just the one.
Just the one.
Natural 12 plus 5, 17.
Yeah, so he doesn't take anything.
Cool.
And unable to pierce the medium armor he is wearing. That then ends the second wave, bringing us to the top with Isaac, who is going to run over to you, I would say. As, well, for clarification, yes, for the most part, Abby will be controlling both Isaac and Rylith in combat. However, sometimes there will be times that I, as the DM, will say that Isaac is going to most likely act in this way. As I will say, most likely Isaac would rush to heal you. However, if you wish for him not to, that's also fine. But I believe that's what he would do.
That's fine. Does he have a potion on him?
He has a minor, so 1d4 plus... I don't remember what that is. 1d4 plus 4, maybe?
I have the notes.
1d4 plus 1?
Regular healing
2d4 plus 2.
is, yeah. Perfect, because I have the 2d4 right out.
Oh. I rolled 2 4s.
Ooh,
So
that's a 10.
That's a 10 total. Rylith gets back up and looks great.
So that is Isaac's action. As Rylith, you awaken, you see the Nutbaribo pushed off of you as you can taste this very medicinal, foul-tasting liquid that seemed to have gone in your mouth as you see Isaac kind of holding a bottle going, "It worked! It worked! You're up!"
Yep. Thank you.
Gotcha. So that is his turn, bringing us to the woman who's going to make another athletics. That is a 14. She's another 10 feet up, as you can see, or not see, but feel the rope getting more taut the closer she gets to the top, bringing us to Rylith.
Great. Rylith is out of spells, and my only cantrip is not usable. So she is going to... She's going to pull out her scimitar.
Alright.
And she's going to swing
On whoever looks the most hurt. Which is probably the one I hit with the ice knife,
The one
right?
that hits the ice knife, which is the one that attempted to... No, it's actually probably the one that downed you.
Perfect.
No, because that was the second wave. So it's the one that is standing right next to you.
Great.
Because there's one jumped off the cliff. And I believe there's 4 left.
21 to hit.
That definitely hits.
6 plus 5. I wish I could roll above a 1 on my d6, so that is 6 damage.
He is slain as you slice him with the scimitar and you see his head roll off and hit the ground.
Perfect. Action. No bonus action. No movement.
That's my turn.
It's your turn. Bringing us to the first wave, which is now only 1, who is going to run towards you as you was the one that just got downed. I need you to make a con save.
There are multiple in my...
So you disadvantage.
Failed.
1 piercing,
Okay.
and it missed you with a 2.
Great.
Natural 2 plus
Lovely. Yeah.
whatever. So, that's the first wave, bringing us to Connor, who's going to once again continue to maintain. And there's nothing that's impeding him, so there's no roll needed. Second wave.
Okay.
There's a set of 2 now. One is going to attack Isaac.
So Isaac rolls.
Isaac also rolls a con save.
Straight with his con
There's a
save.
miss on Isaac.
5 plus. I gotta find his save. 10 for his con save. So I think he fails,
He
right?
fails. So Isaac takes 3 piercing.
Okay.
And then you need to make a con save as well.
Both 2s. 2 2s. I fail.
1 piercing.
Okay.
And that is a 13 plus 5 to hit. 18.
That does hit me.
Okay. That's a lot of 1s I'm rolling. That's 1 plus 3, so 4 piercing.
Great. Yes, keep rolling one.
As it sinks its teeth into your arm as you hold it out, trying to block it from charging you fully. That is the second wave's turn, bringing us back to the top with Isaac.
Great. He is going to. Let's see. I think he's just gonna whip out his dagger. Because he doesn't have any offensive spells. So yeah, we're just gonna whip out the dagger, man. Alright. 7 to hit. 12 to hit.
12, yeah, that hits.
Great.
Oh, wait, no, I apologize. That was the hit points I was looking at. 12 does not hit.
Okay, perfect. That is his turn.
Okay. Bringing us to the woman. That almost landed in my cup. That was funny. That is a 9 plus 3, so 12. She is now fully at the top with Connor as you see her kind of cresting over, standing up and then setting Connor to the side before unsheathing her sword, going, "Thank you both.
Of course.
Stay behind me, Connor. It's not done yet." So that is her turn,
Great.
bringing us to Riley.
Just gonna attack with the scimitar again.
All right.
Somebody else who looks low, trying to knock off the babies.
The one probably that bit you.
6 plus 7, 13 to hit.
That just hits.
Thank God. Oh. 6 plus 5. Ooh, 10 damage.
10 damage. You bisect it, cutting down the blade, cutting right through, right in the top left of its shoulder blade and neck vertebrae, cutting straight down, bisecting it, and slamming it down into 2 sets of disgusting, horrific, demonic pieces.
Gross.
Yeah.
That's all she has. Because she did not carry potions. She doesn't like them.
That is fair. Bringing us to first wave, who are all dead. Bringing us to Connor, who's going to use an action to hide. That is an 8 plus 3, 11. He's weirdly still hidden.
Can he have moved, like, away from the edge of the cliff
Yes.
in his hiding attempt?
Yes. He will move away from the edge, moving 30 feet. We'll say to the left, avoiding the ones. And he's hidden by them, so they couldn't opportunity attack him anyway.
Lovely. We just don't need another person going off the edge.
That's very fair. That then brings us to the second wave, which is the last 2 enemies who are going to make an attack on you with a natural 1.
Great.
And a second attack on Isaac with an 11 plus 5, 16 to hit.
So that will hit Isaac, so that means we both need to do a con save just straight.
Yes.
I pass with a 14, natural 14. And Isaac also passes with a natural 19.
Okay, so Isaac will take... That is a hefty roll. 6 plus 3, 11 piercing.
Isaac goes down.
Got it. It jumps onto Isaac and clamps down on his face, kind of tearing at it, but he kind of pushes it away before it sinks into his neck, and you see his hands go limp. that ends the second wave's turn, bringing us to the top with Isaac, who needs to make a death saving throw.
Okay. Ten.
10. That is barely a success, as he maintains his will to live. It brings us to the woman, who is going to slice the one that is on top of Isaac. 13 plus 3 to hit. 16. That just more than hits. 8 plus 3, 11 slashing, which bisects that one as she then wipes off the blood as she pushes off the excess corpse off of Isaac and says, "Are you a healer?"
Yeah, I'll get him.
And then she points her blade towards the other one, bringing us to Rylith.
Great. I don't have any spell slots, so I can't actually heal him right now, but I would like to do a medicine check to try to just get him stable.
Make a medicine check. Yep. As you kind of begin to put in some bits of herbs and other stuff in your pouches, you seal up the main wound, kind of giving a little bit of magic that you have as you see his eyes, as his lungs refill with breath, as he looks at you and goes, "I guess we're even now."
Yep.
It did not feel good.
It's alright. Great. So he's at least at 1. Right? He's at 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Perfect.
Bringing us to the first wave. Right, because you don't have a bonus action.
Mm-mm.
Right. Bring us to the first wave, who is dead. Bring us to the second wave, who's one guy. As Connor is going to continue to just be hidden.
Yeah.
And no point in tempting fate on re-rolling that.
Nope.
That is a 10 plus 5 to hit on you.
Misses. 16.
So that is bounced off. And that is his turn, bringing us to Isaac.
Great. Isaac is actually going to take the disengage action
Okay.
and run off to the side of the cliff. Just use his movement and get away from them so the cliff is not at his back.
Got it?
Just he's got 1 hit point. And
Yeah. So he begins to run along the side of the cliff, dodging out of the way of the slash the Nuparibo tried, and then kind of readies himself off. Ending his turn, bringing us to the woman. He's going to attack. Last one with a natural 20.
Oh!
So that is an 8 doubled to 16 plus 3. So that is a 19 for slashing as she beheads it and its head rolls along the ground and the final Nuparibo goes silent. So, as combat comes to a close and the nerves begin to settle, you kind of catch your breath, the storm getting more prevalent, washing the blood off your face and arms as you start to see the bodies of the Nuparibo begin to sink into the ground. You see their flesh kind of turn more liquidy, kind of fading and turning into this red goo, this almost jelly-like paste that sinks into the soil in an almost cloud of steam. You also look around and you notice that a lot of the caravan that had been with you is torn to bits or somewhere beneath the cliff that you can't see. But you are alive, as is the traveler Isaac, along with the guard and the noble boy that she is protecting.
Okay. Is everyone alright? I can do some temporary healing now that we're settled.
I think I'm alright, Isaac says, kind of dusting himself off and pulling a crossbow off the ground that he had dropped, having gone unconscious.
Rylith looks at him and sees
that he is absolutely covered in blood, considering he's at 1 hit point.
Oh.
She will, that's all he got when he got stabilized. And she's going to cast Close Wound, which is a homebrew cantrip.
That is true.
Which is going to enable him to roll a hit dice and add his con modifier to the result.
As you were healing up and healing everyone, you see the woman kind of dust herself off and then immediately run over to Connor and say, Connor, are you alright? Yeah, I think I'm okay. As she puts a hand down and you see her hand faintly glow. She struggles a bit as she kind of seems to will magic to emanate from herself with a weird, like, not aggression, it's the wrong word, labor-intensive thought process, as the light from her hand seems to almost flicker as she does it, as you see Connor's wounds begin to seal, the blood drying and scabbing over. He goes, thanks, Lyra. As she kind of puts his hood up and says, now let's make sure you don't catch a cold, okay? Stay close behind me. As she grabs his hand and begins to walk over and says, thank you, by the way, you two. I appreciate it a lot.
Of course. My pleasure. Rylith.
Lyra. And you? Sorry, I'm Isaac. Pleasure to you both, and thank you greatly. That was quite unexpected.
Yeah. That was... Honestly, I've never seen abominations like those.
Unfortunately, they're a lot more common around here. Especially lately, they've been getting more recent, though they've never been that coordinated before. As you kind of see her looking at the carts. Strange, but regardless, thank you.
Of course.
I would offer a ride or something, but it doesn't appear that we have any.
No worries. How is my memory of the maps around Last Light from what I studied with my Outlander feat or background?
Pretty solid, I'd imagine. You're on a main road. You're probably about 8 miles away from Last Light. You're in the mountainous region. You're probably near the peak of the mountain, getting ready to head down and descend. You're still smack dab in the middle of the Blackwood Forest.
Yeah.
But as long as you stay on the beaten path, you should be decently okay.
And it takes, what, a day to get to Last Light? 8 miles?
Yeah, probably a day.
Okay.
This is the early morning.
Oh, okay. So we could get there.
You could get there today.
Then she'll say, I know I've never been to Last Light before, but based on what I've seen, even walking, we should make it today if we just stick with the roads. If it's agreeable to you, I think it makes the most sense for us to travel together.
I see no problem with this. What do you think, Connor? And he kind of nods and goes, yeah. As he kind of hunkers behind her, still shaken from everything that just happened. You see that he's looking at the ground, very afraid.
Hey, Connor.
Yeah?
Since we're traveling together, if you'd like to carry Blaze for a little while, you could do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Blaze kind of comes out from her cloak and hops down, and if Connor goes to carry him, then he'll jump into his arms, but aside from that, normally he's just gonna kind of slink up to his neck and, like, purr against the side of his cheek.
Connor will kind of hold his hand up to Blaze, who acts like essentially a cat scarf.
Yeah.
And starts to kind of lightly pet him, and you see like a faint smile kind of return to his face, and some warmth.
Yeah.
As Lyra kind of looks at the both you and Rylith. Lyra looks at Rylith and Isaac and says, well, should we get moving then?
Yeah.
Which is your passive? Perception or investigation?
17 perception.
17 perception and investigation?
I think it's a 13. Let me just double check.
14.
14.
Passive investigation.
There are a few oddities that occur to you. One, you have studied nature and its animals. Granted, demons and angels adjacent, but demons are a little outside your wheelhouse. However, you know that when most things die, they usually leave a body. It is strange that these creatures had essentially wilted into liquid, almost like leaving no trace of themselves. It does catch a strange feeling to you. That's what you can kind of gather.
And they left puddles of goo?
Yes, jelly-like goo.
She's gonna turn, I guess, to Isaac, guessing that he's probably the one who's most likely to have some kind of bottle, and go, do you have an empty glass bottle or something?
I have this one now. And he holds the empty potion.
Would you scoop up some of their jelly?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just weird that they didn't leave a body.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Most things that die do, although I wouldn't call myself an expert on demons, but usually there's something.
I can understand. It is odd. Okay. And he kind of kneels down, begins to scoop up some.
Hopefully with gloves or something covering
His
his
dagger.
hand. Okay.
He's using his dagger to scoop it in, and you see him going, kind of getting a very visceral reaction on his face as he's scooping it in, and he just goes, it's sticky. Ugh. As he scoops it in, and then closes it tight, and then kind of scrapes off the excess, and then goes, I really liked this dagger, and then kind of starts kind of rubbing it in the dirt to get as much off as possible before sheathing it. One goo jar.
Thanks. Ugh. Alright, let's keep going.
Yeah, also, it was Rylith, right?
Yeah,
Thank you a lot.
thank you too.
Yeah. I'm just glad I could help. I'm just glad it worked.
Yeah. Oh, your rope, by the way. And she will untie his rope and wrap it up. Hand it back to him.
Thank you.
I wouldn't want to leave that.
And he puts it in his pack. And do you head off?
Yeah, can I go ahead of the group? And, because I'm a wood elf, I have Mask of the Wild, so I can hide while I'm lightly obscured, and just kind of,
And also just
with
Cloak of
the
Elvenkind.
hood, Cloak of Elvenkind, just kind of try to be a stealthy lookout for the group.
make a stealth check with advantage. Along with a perception, unless you'd prefer to use your passive.
Yeah, nat 20 again.
Nat
I got
20
an
for
8
stealth?
and then a nat 20, yeah.
For a total of-
29 for stealth.
Wow!
We'll use my passive perception.
Use your passive?
17.
Yeah, 17. Got it. You know, not all rolls can be great. But you put up your hood, feeling the cloak begin to mask the misty surroundings as you start to head forward. The other three journeying behind you, but probably about 30 feet back,
Yeah.
maybe a little more, giving some areas as you are scouting. As you're walking, progressing forward, you start to see the mist begin to clear as you kind of crest over the cliffside. You look down and you now see an unobscured forest beneath you. It's about 400 feet, as it seems you did get a little higher as you are now at the peak of this trail and begin to head down. And you look over the horizon and you see these tall, Gothic ivory towers that kind of scatter in a little pocket, surrounded in forest in a clearing. You see the telltale signs of last light on probably about 6-ish miles. You're probably almost bang on with your assessment of how long it would take you to get there. You also see kind of behind you the storm that seems to be kind of getting closer to last light, as you hear thunder kind of rolling in the distance, little flashes of light. But
Does this storm look natural?
make a nature check.
Dirty 20.
Yes, pretty natural. The way it's moving, at least from this perspective, it is miles away from you. You're just able to see it. It looks natural.
Okay, cool. Great. Then I guess we just keep going.
All right. So you guys journey probably for a few hours. Kind of sneaking down the path before eventually getting to the bottom of the road and getting into the Blackwood Forest proper. Passing by rows upon rows of trees, you, with your passive perception, you eventually hear a boom, a very muffled boom, followed by with the sound of what appears to be shattering rock. Kind of coming from the eastern side of the forest. So to your right.
Can I tell how far away?
Make a perception check.
$17.
About a mile
Okay.
to the east.
I'll wait for the group to catch up. And then she'll say, there was a boom about a mile east of here.
You see Lyra goes, unsettling. And she kind of looks off. Hopefully the Knights of Ironblood will deal with it then. As Isaac kind of looks and goes, can you recall, like, any details about the boom?
She will try to describe it as best she can.
Make
Not-
a performance check.
Yeah, not quite her
Wheelhouse as a druid.
Yeah.
13.
13? You make a pretty big showing of, like, describing it, maybe mimicking the sounds a little, and Isaac kind of goes... You kind of see him get, like, an interested face at the mention of it before kind of going... Maybe gunpowder or something went off?
Do we think it's any risk to us? I guess if they don't know we're here.
I don't see why it would. I mean, we're doing pretty good to keep to ourselves.
Yeah.
And Lyra kind of goes, yes, and I would like to get Kona back to the city as quickly as possible.
Of course. How quickly do I think I could catch up with the group?
Near Wood Else, you could probably catch up with the group pretty quickly.
Curiosity killed the cat.
You're gonna go investigate it?
Yeah, she'll say, I can travel pretty quickly and stealthily, so why don't you guys keep going and I'll catch back up with you.
If you think If that's best, then...
I'm curious.
Oh, all right. Connor, why don't you give the nice woman her cat back? As Connor just kind of pets Blaze and he goes, okay. Bye, kitty.
Blaze will kind of jump across to her arm and climb back up and burrow back into the cloak.
And Isaac goes, if it's all right, can I go with you?
I will look him up and down and see if I think he could keep up with me if I made quick time.
Make an insight check.
18.
18. He's not a wood elf.
Yeah.
So he'd be a little slower than you, but he could probably keep pace.
Okay.
But he goes, Sorry, I don't like the idea of anyone being alone, especially after what just happened. I know that I wouldn't be much help, but...
Well, but
two's
if
better
you
than
were
one.
able to recognize what kind of cannon fire it was, maybe you'd be more helpful than you think.
That's fair.
Okay, let's go. Just keep behind me so I can be quiet and scout.
He kind of puts a hand to his forehead and goes, aye, aye.
Okay.
He gives a little salute.
And then I guess we break into a little bit of a hustle.
Okay.
I'd like to go quick until we get a couple 100 feet away.
Okay.
Just so that we're not really far behind Connor and Lyra. And then stealth after that.
Got it. Go ahead and make a stealth check, having now progressed as you all make your way deeper, I should say, into the Blackwood Forest. I am going to swap music.
Yeah. Can we turn the music down through our headset just a little?
Yeah. You have to control that here. You'd have to control it there.
Okay. I'm not gonna be able to hear you as much, but that should be okay.
Let me readjust this. Apologies, editing me. I'm trying to find the right piece of music. I'm having difficulties.
And I'm petting the cat.
You are petting the cat.
Apologies for the jingles you're gonna have to figure out how to remove and post.
I probably won't. I'll just leave them.
Paste.
Okay. So, what did you roll for your stealth check?
I rolled a 24.
24. And for Isaac?
Oh, yeah, I guess he needs one too. Disadvantage for him. Devastating. I wish I could have used the 19, but instead we will settle with 12 total.
12. That's still pretty good. Not great, but
No.
it's decent. You guys quickly and stealthily run through the Blackwood Forest, kind of heading in the loose direction that you remember the sound coming from, where you eventually hit what looks to be a slight clearing. You see what looks like drag marks in the dirt, kind of heading towards this side of one of the mountains, and you see this dark cave mouth with these scratch marks and bits of barrels sitting outside. And you can also see what looks to be picks, swords, bits of rope kind of sitting outside, and lots of footprints heading in.
Is it Do I hear a lot of noise coming from inside?
With your passive, you do not hear much noise. So you're unsure.
Okay. Well, might as well go in. Continuing to stealth, hood up fully within the thing.
You start to walk towards it.
Yeah.
As you start to walk towards, Isaac goes, "It's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. We're heading right into a very creepy and dark cave, but it'll be fine."
You can stay out here if you can't see.
I have learned that it is safer to be two than one. Plus, standing outside alone in front of the dark cave, also scary.
Ooh. 10-minute casting time.
No, let's just do it.
Okay.
We're on a time crunch.
So, you guys begin to head in, seeing these wooden structures that kind of seem to be holding the cave mouth open. As you kind of progress further, this looks to be less of a natural cave and more of a mine dug into, as you can see these struts, these wooden struts that are holding this series of circular carved in tunnels. As you kind of stick your head in, you look to the left and you see these piles of books in one tunnel, kind of just randomly thrown to the side with not much thought, almost as if they were found or maybe just collected. You also see another tunnel kind of goes off to the right. The path seems to diverge to three places. To the left, with that kind of dead ends with the books. To the right, that kind of goes off into a darkened space you can't see, and continuing to head straight forward. Also unsure what lies beyond.
I guess we'll go to the side of the books just to skim, see if there's anything important there.
All right. So, you walk over to the books. What specifically are you looking for?
Information on something I wouldn't already know, or information on the fire?
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Okay.
$13.
13. Kind of combing through the books, probably with the help of Isaac as well, assisting. They are storybooks, random journals of different adventurers saying, "Got an apple today, right day," or just "Heading to last light, hope to have a new beginning." Just some random bits and burbs. However, there is a few others that start to kind of be strange to you. You start to see ledgers. And you look at one ledger that is a number 5, then 16, 8. Then it says, "All collected and to be sent in 2 weeks."
Well, that doesn't sound good.
What?
This looks like a ledger. Some numbers saying that they were all collected and to be sent in 2 weeks, but I'm not sure how old it is or what it's referring to.
Maybe it's gold. Bits of food? I don't know. Maybe It's a trader's ledger.
Maybe. I guess I'll pocket it.
Okay.
Then I guess backtrack, go down another hallway.
Okay. So you kind of backtrack out. Do you head to the right or straight?
Let's go to the right. That way we know.
So you begin to head to the right, and as you kind of progress down the hallway, you can see up ahead there are these metal boxes with struts that go along it, and creating columns and rows. They are cages. You see cages all around in one little part of the cave, as well as something just beneath your feet. As while you're walking, you kind of step on something and back your foot off. You look down and you see a singed bit of black soot directly on the ground beneath you. Looking to the right, you see a massive chunk of stone that has been blasted out of the cave, and you see a metal ball sitting in it. Recently, based on how it is positioned, and the smell of burning powder that still lingers in the air, kind of overpowering the already stagnant, suffocating atmosphere of the cave. But you...
Does this smell of fire and powder smell familiar?
Make a history check.
Okay.
Or nature check.
We'll do nature since that one's better. Dirty 20.
Okay. So are you trying to say familiar to what specifically?
To the fire she's looking into.
No. It doesn't smell like that. That smelled like a wildfire smell. This is more like a match burned.
Okay.
Obviously, like 1,000 matches all burned at once, but a match had burned. But you look down and you see what looks to be a humanoid figure in metal armor, helmet, with a massive hole in its chest. And you see within the hole a rib cage that's been blasted with a hole into it, and a spine that miraculously untouched kind of jutted to the side.
Who would shoot someone with a cannonball
I don't know.
at this range? Is that not... It doesn't seem normal.
No, far from it normal to see someone with a hole in their chest and a cannon inside of a cave.
Interesting. Is there anything in the cages? Anyone?
You don't see anyone in the cages from this distance. However, from here, you can hear skittering. Kind of growled, teethy talking. As you hear, "I think I got him. Did you? I mean, I hope you bloody deafened me with the sound of that cannon from this distance. Whose idea was it to bring that in here anyway? It was Bitsabob. Well, Bitsabob is a moron. Well, it took that guy out, didn't it? Yes, but a bit of arrows and stones could have done the exact same thing. But arrows or stones would have made it to where we could have gotten hurt by him. This took him out in one fell swoop. I'll take you out with one fell swoop if you shoot that cannon again. Oh, shush it." As you hear what sounds like goblins just around the corner.
She will turn to Isaac and murmur, "Goblins."
Great.
I don't really know if there's a reason for us to engage, though.
Well, we know they're here. Also, if they have a cannon, maybe not the best idea to, As you kind of see him just go slack-jawed and looking at you, but also not quite at you, kind of past you.
I will slowly turn around.
You slowly turn around to see a metal knight helmet kind of peering over your shoulder, looking at you, as you see that the humanoid that was laying on the ground with the cannon-sized hole in its chest is currently standing right next to you, looking at you. As he just goes, "Might I ask, why?"
As she reaches forward to cover his mouth with her hand, because the goblins are in the next room.
He goes, "Why are you?"
Shh. Come with me. And she quietly backs out, not removing her hand from his, I imagine, bony mouth.
It's a helmet, so you're kind of
yeah.
just covering over the helmet.
Just walk back some paces until they're far enough away
You guys
so
start-
the goblins can't hear them
You
anymore.
start to probably exiting the cave, and you exit the cave slightly, where you most likely wouldn't echo.
Yeah.
And you step outside, and as you kind of get into the daylight, you realize that the individual you were holding your hand over the helmet is about a 7-foot tall armored humanoid with, now seeing in the sunlight, you see this broken pieces of armor all over, and in between the broken bits of chainmail and plate, you just see bone. This is a skeleton in armor, kind of sitting there with now a brand new hole in his chest, looking at you all, going, "Might I speak now?"
She removes her hand.
Ha! Well, that was quite exhilarating. Might I ask what you two are doing in this homely cave?
She's looking at him, mouth open, blinking, trying to come to some sense of a question, considering she's standing in front of a living skeleton with a cannonball hole in his stomach.
Hmm?
What?
Forgive me. I know I am quite the sight, am I not? How are you talking? You are dead. I might appear to be all skin and bones, but I assure you, I am a magnificent sight. But of course you would both know that, as I am known far and wide. My name is the magnificent and magnanimous famed adventurer, Sir Anvil, at your service, and might I say it is a good one. And I am so glad that I ran into you two this day, my squires, because there is a damsel, a duchess, to be saved. As Isaac looks at you and just goes, I think this cave is creating monsters. Also, I think I died. I think I did fall off that cliff. I thought I dodged that thing. I think I'm dead right now.
No, you survived. You dodged it. Duchess.
Aye, Duchess. A beautiful woman. I heard tale that she needed saving, captured, clad in chains, iron chains, bound in steel chains by goblins.
Can I... Okay. Very clearly trying to figure out some semblance of what to say here, because there is some part of her that says, if someone's in danger, she should help.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a talking skeleton
Mm-hmm.
that should be dead
Mm-hmm.
because he's a skeleton, but also should be dead because there was a cannonball shot through his stomach.
Correct.
Huh. She will turn to Isaac, and she just goes, this is silly, isn't it?
Yes, but also I'm curious as to... I mean, if there's someone in danger, we should probably help.
Yeah.
Regardless, but also, I am... I don't mean to offend Sir Sir Anvil. Right, Sir Anvil.
While this conversation is happening, can I start to ritual cast Detect Magic?
Yes.
Great.
Right, Sir Anvil. I don't mean to offend, but I'm a little uneasy with working with an undead as, we were just... Undead? Undead? You think I am a skeleton walking around in this? I am not undead. I am not some zombie, some little archer prounced around by some necromancer. I am an adventurer. You have a hole in your chest. Do I? Oh, look at that. Now I can breathe. You don't have lungs. Do you need lungs to inhale the beautiful air that is the Blackwood Forest's atmosphere? You're a very strange individual. Thank you. Anyway, are you really sure there is someone in there? I am most positive that there is a duchess in there. I think we have to help in some way.
He turns over to see Rylith, like, the smell of a forest that he doesn't quite recognize echoing off of her, clearly doing some sort of magic. Just completely phased out of this conversation as she's focusing on ritual casting Detect Magic.
As you finish Detect Magic, your eyes are engulfed in green energy as you kind of look around, and you see faint magic kind of emanating off your cloak, off yourself, even off of Isaac's pouch. You see just a very faint aura. As you look at Sir Anvil, you are blinded by magic as you see beneath the armor this complete outline of a skeleton that is a essentially spotlight in your face of magic looking directly at you. And as you kind of start to kind of cover your eyes from being just the sight of him, he looks at you and goes, I know, I am quite dashing and dazzling, am I not? I have to make sure people avert their gaze. I'm too beautiful to gaze upon.
What kind of magic am I looking at?
Detect magic give you the school?
Yes.
Okay.
You learn at School of Magic, if any.
You are detecting necromancy.
Okay.
Obviously. You're also detecting divination. And lastly, enchantment. And one other magic that is unknown to you.
Huh. That's interesting.
What?
She's starting to look kind of past him so she can look at the light in her periphery.
As you're looking past him, he does kind of go, like, look in the direction you're staring.
I've never seen that type of magic before.
Magic? No magic here. I am a boxer of sorts, a fighter. Hand-to-hand combat is my speciality. When I took out the dastardly werewolf...
She reaches forward to touch a bit of bone that's peeking out from his armor.
Now, while I am a famed celebrity in these parts, I have to ask, consent is very important to me. So please ask before you touch someone. Did your parents never teach you something like that?
Not important. Someone's hurt. What?
I see you were lost in my magnificence.
And suddenly her eyes stop glowing as she stops concentrating on the spell, and she's very clearly back in the now.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go look for this Duchess. But just let's be quiet about this.
I could keep my lips completely sealed.
Don't know that I believe that, but let's try.
Go ahead and make another series of stealth checks.
Yeah.
I will do Sir Anvil's at disadvantage.
Because he won't shut up.
That is a 4. Plus 2, so 6.
My first roll was a 4, and I was like, God, he just cursed me, but...
Advantage. 16 plus 9.
So 27 for Rylith.
27.
Isaac rolls with disadvantage. Not an awful. 5 plus 8.
12. No. Yes.
So as you get all stealth, Sir Anvil not quiet in the slightest.
Yeah.
As you are all the three of you are making your way back into the cave, Isaac doing his best to kind of hold his armor to make sure it doesn't clink too much. You kind of leading the front. You hear Anvil every footstep going, left foot, right foot, stealthy left foot, stealthy right foot, stealthy left foot, stealthy right
She
foot.
turns around. And he just sees a glare from beyond her hood. She goes,
Shh. As you shush him, he just goes, this is how I stay quiet. And as you cover his mouth, you hear a scream. A muffled scream from down the cave mouth somewhere deeper in, a woman's voice in pain, before you hear a roar of something larger than a goblin. As you see Sir Anvil unsheath his blade and say, fear not, Duchess! Sir Anvil is coming! As you hear the clanking of his armor as he sprints down the cave mouth, before you hear another explosion of a cannon.
well, I will sprint as stealthily as I can down the hall, hoping Isaac will keep his distance so he doesn't get hit by a cannonball.
And as the three of you begin to progress down the cave mouth, heading deeper in the hopes of finding this Duchess with a mysterious new companion who seems to be undead, that is where we are going to end our first session of DnDuo and One World.
Woo!
Woo! Well, this has been fun, and I have been Wes, your dungeon master.
And I was Abby, your player.
And this has been DnDuo. Thank you all for listening. If you have, we hope you continue to listen. If you don't, well, I hope you tried it at least once. But we will see you all next time, or I guess have you all hear us next time. Until then, have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.
Bye.